Who's most affected by cuts to public broadcasting?
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Progressive Insurance. Customers can simplify their insurance needs and protect what's important by bundling home and auto. Learn more about bundling at Progressive.com.
From Marketplace, I'm Sabri Benishore, in for David Brancaccio. President Donald Trump is pushing to end federal funding for public broadcasting. In an executive order earlier this month, he called NPR and PBS biased and outdated and instructed the Corporation for Public Broadcasting to cut them off. It's not yet clear if Trump has the legal authority to do that. Marketplace's parent company, we should say, American Public Media, receives CPB funding. So do many of the public radio stations that subscribe to our broadcast shows. Some of the stations that would be most affected are small stations that serve rural audiences. Marketplace's Savannah Peters brings us this story from Southwest Colorado.
Jim Belcher is the very early morning voice of KSUT Radio.
Well, this morning I got here about 4:45, and I don't drink coffee.
His daily newscast from the Southern Ute Indian Reservation reaches listeners across the Four Corners region in the Southwest.
Good morning. The time is 7:49, and you are tuned in to KSUT.
Today, it includes stories about bills moving through the Colorado legislature, a regional poll on Trump energy policy.
As Hannah Merzbach reports, voters are concerned about the implications for public lands.
Belcher also delivers updates on winter road closures, evacuation notices during wildfire season, crucial information. And lots of people here don't have cell service or internet access.
KSUT is one of the lifelines that our listeners depend on to get the latest information out. That is something that could be negatively impacted.
19% of KSUT's just under $2 million annual budget comes from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. If KSUT were to lose that federal support,
it's significant, and it would be very difficult to replace.
Tammy Graham is KSUT's executive director. She says the picture President Trump is painting of public media doesn't align with her station or its listening area, which is rural and politically diverse.
For our listeners, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat or independent, you rely on information that's coming from local reporters that know the community.
Graham says local fundraising can fill some, but not all, of the potential federal funding gap. The rest would have to come from cuts to national programming, programs like Marketplace, for example, and local reporting.
That's the last thing I want to cut, because we are in a news desert,
where there aren't many other local outlets to pick up the slack, especially on the Ute, Navajo, and Apache lands that KSUT serves.
All right, in the background, we have Black Eagle with a song called Dance With Me. You're listening to KSUT Tribal Radio here in Nashville.
Sheila Naneto is the station's tribal radio manager. She says her broadcasts are woven into many listeners' routines.
I'm thinking about the folks who don't go out of their homes, mainly our elders. You know, they only have business in town once a week, or once a month.
Otherwise, Naneto says, they turn on the radio to stay connected to their community and the world. On the Southern Ute Indian Reservation, I'm Savannah Peters for Marketplace.
U.S. markets are closed today in honor of Memorial Day. They reopen tomorrow, Tuesday, at 9:30 a.m. Wall Street time. As always, there is a lot to catch up on in the U.S. economy, and we have got you covered with Marketplace in the afternoon and evening. You can hear Rima Crace in for Kai Rizdal later today on many public radio stations or marketplace.org or on podcast.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Bitwarden, designed to strengthen online security with a password manager built to secure logins across all accounts and devices. Bitwarden.com.
In New York, where almost 30% of the population identifies as Hispanic, 2 Broadway musicals have opened this spring featuring Latino stories, writers, and casts, Buena Vista Social Club and Real Women Have Curves. As Jeff London reports, the show's producers see in that an opportunity to expand their audiences.
When the album Buena Vista Social Club came out in 1996, it was an international hit. Featuring older Cuban musicians playing songs of their youth, the CD captured the imagination of Orrin Wolf.
My desire to produce this as a musical just came from my love of the album. I'm just I was a Jewish kid from Cleveland.
He got the rights from the album's original producers and the families of the musicians and put together a team to create a stage show about the people who recorded the album. With a budget of $16 million, it was produced off-Broadway at the Atlantic Theater last season as a tryout.
I never wanted our idea of marketing to a Latin audience or to a Spanish-speaking audience to feel ancillary.
His team started marketing to Latino audiences very early, and the results, both off-Broadway and on-Broadway, have been dramatic.
We had extended 3 times at the Atlantic. 60% of the people that saw the show there had never been to the Atlantic before, which is a massive number for them. And I think now 32% of our purchasers on Broadway now identify as Hispanic.
Another $16 million musical, Real Women Have Curves, is reaching out to Hispanic audiences as well, says marketer Blanca LaSalle.
We are doing advertising in the Spanish networks, some of the Spanish networks, and we have done a lot of interviews.
The show, which is based on the indie film about undocumented Mexican and Central American women working in a garment factory in Los Angeles in the 1980s, has been inviting personalities like Lin-Manuel Miranda and Gloria Estefan to the show and share their impressions on social media. Producer Alicia Parker says it's been attracting a diverse audience.
You see the high school student who's never been to Broadway before. You see the Broadway goer who sees everything. You see the Latinx community. You see every age in a much wider demographic age-wise that you see in Broadway statistics.
Producers of both shows say there may be a chance for collaboration going forward, but first they need to fill their theaters. In New York, I'm Jeff London for Marketplace.
Real Women Have Curves got 2 Tony nominations, by the way, including Best Featured Actress in a Musical and Best Original Score. Buena Vista Social Club netted 10 nominations, including the coveted nomination for Best New Musical. The Tony Awards air on Sunday, June 8th. In New York, I'm Sabri Benishore with the Marketplace Morning Report. From APM, American Public Media.